Hello, everybody. Kyle here. I want to apologize first for not releasing my video and review on Deadpool and Wolverine yet. That will be coming up fairly shortly. But I will say that I felt really compelled to record this review for Alien Romulus. I saw it last night, and I'll just give you a little bit of a background with my history with the Alien franchise. The first Alien film I ever saw, and the one I saw in theaters, was Prometheus. It is my favorite science fiction film, and I love that movie to pieces. It really got me into sci-fi, and just going to the movies, it was such a memorable experience. I love all the characters. I love all the themes that Ridley Scott and Damon Lindelof and the whole group tried to pursue in the film. And I think the film just is a magnificent work of art. Now, I then became a fan of the Alien franchise after Prometheus. I watched the Alien movies, and I I really enjoy most of the Alien films. The one I don't like is Resurrection. I don't like Resurrection, but all the other ones I do like. Then, of course, you have the Alien versus Predator movies. Requiem is awful, but um, I was really looking forward to Alien Romulus, and one of the reasons was Fede Alvarez is directing it. I really think that, I thought his Evil Dead remake was great. I enjoyed Don't Breathe. And, I think that we are in need of another Alien film, because this is a franchise that I do think has a lot of potential, and we've seen some really great ones, whether it's the first Alien, whether it's Aliens. And I mean, today, with the technology at hand, with even, Disney now acquiring Fox, I was very curious to see how they would take Alien and make it for this new decade. I was looking forward to and I still am, I'm looking forward to the Alien series that Noah Hawley's doing. But with Alien Romulus, I think what's really cool about the movie, and I'll say this, is that I think that the best part of the film is Kaylee Spaney, who plays Rain, and David Johnson, who plays her brother, Andy. And there's a bit of a secret behind their relationship that the trailers kind of hid, so I won't reveal it. And you know what? At the end of this review, I'll go into a little bit of spoilers, but I'll let you guys know when I start talking about spoilers. But the relationship between Andy and Rain, I think, is really sweet, and it definitely is something that is, I think, new to the franchise. It's not something that we've really seen before. And I think the film, technically, like the production design, the sound design, the cinematography are all gorgeous, and I'm glad I saw this in a really nice theater with a nice sound system, because it really made the experience feel immersive, and that's what you want from an Alien movie. And I mean, there are some really great shot sequences where, the face huggers are attacking people, or the xenomorph is lurking in the shadows, and all that is what you expect from an Alien movie, and I think it delivers on that front. That being said, I was unfortunately disappointed with this film, because the film does something in the second act, I want to say, that really irked me, and it shows that kind of one of the main problems of this film is its over-reliance on nostalgia and fan service. Now, I have not really had a lot of issue with, say, nostalgia bait or, fan service in movies, because I always think it's utilized pretty well. A lot of the Star Wars films, for instance, I think have utilized it really well. Even like Force Awakens, where they make like a reference to the trash compactor. I like that. I think that works. But here, it's like they didn't know what else to do, so we're going to just reference the other movies just to get a rise out of the audience. And it irked me. It really bothered me, to the point where um it kind of ruins the movie in a way, because the movie itself starts out with a really intriguing premise, something that's unique from the Alien franchise, the idea of these down on their luck workers going to this ship to try and get away from this planet, and a very simple premise, just like the very first Alien, but then it becomes something a little bit more complicated, but devoid of like the real themes and hardcore thematic elements that we saw from the other Alien movies. And it's disappointing because like when Prometheus and Covenant came out, they got a lot of flack. Love Prometheus and I enjoy Covenant, but those films offer a lot more beyond the surface. There was a lot more depth to those movies, and this movie doesn't really have that. A lot of the characters are kind of just there. They don't have as much to them as even some of the characters from the other Alien movies. And it frustrates me too because there's this one thing, and I think now it's time for me to go into spoilers. So if you don't want to know, you can turn it off. Just know that it's a mixed bag. I liked some of it, some of the characters, but overall I was disappointed. But spoiler-wise, Andy is a synthetic. He's a robot. And the problem with that in this film is that once they reveal that, and once you kind of start to see what the issue these other characters have with him, it becomes very thin and one-layered. You don't really get to see Andy, like, in his relationship with Rain, because this is something that I really loved when the film started. I love the idea that Andy and Rain are brother and sister, but he's a synthetic. We've never seen that before. And I think that humanizes them even more. And I love the way David Johnson was playing this character because you really cared for him and you knew he cared for Rain. But then there's this moment in the film where he gets like a new module in his neck and it changes his personality. And, you know, you feel bad that this isn't the same one that, you know, was her brother. But I lost some of that connection actually because I no longer really cared about him as much as I did before. And then you have this thing with one of the other characters doesn't like him because he caused like the death of his parents, but like, or his another robot caused the death of this guy's parents, but they don't, I mean, they have this one thing where he's gonna try and stop this guy's like girlfriend from leaving, and I wanted more from it. Like, it just felt like by the time that then eventually Rain does regain his module back, I didn't really get the connection from these characters that I got from the beginning. But I mean, Kaylee and David are really good in it. But the thing that really frustrated me about this movie was the decision for them to bring Ian Holm back, not to play Ash, but to play this new robot, Rook. Now, if you're watching this review and you haven't seen the first Alien, Ian Holm was one of the robots. He was the very first robot in that movie known as Ash, and Ian Holmes is a great actor. He played Bilbo Baggins in Lord of the Rings, and unfortunately, they took him and they either used CGI or they used AI. He died a couple years ago, by the way, and they brought him back to life and put him into this movie, and I think it's absolutely unnecessary. In the Alien world, there are very clear, like, there's an understanding that there are different robots. Like, there's Ash, and then when you get to Aliens 2, there's Bishop, played by a different actor, Lance Henriksen. And the fact that they couldn't just make a new robot, they had to continue using Ash, and by that, using Ian Holmes' likeness in this distracting and unsettling CG character. And it really irks me now because it makes me think that when I saw Rogue One, I was younger, I didn't really understand like the full weight of what Tarkin meant in that movie. But I feel like that has just destroyed, you know, what we're doing with VFX. Because now what are we doing? We're bringing people back from the dead who have no say in this matter. Yeah, their estate has a say, but they don't have a say in it. And then what's frustrating is that they don't need to bring these characters back too. They can either recast the role or they can just get a new character, and they're not doing that. And they make Ian Holm, who is dead but now alive through CGI or AI means, and they're making him like the main villain of this movie, and he's there like throughout. And it's like, I want to say it's disrespectful, but if the family's okay with it, maybe it isn't. But still, it just does not sit right with me, and it feels desperate. It feels like the studio was like, you know what, we need to bring back this guy just so that the fans can go ooh, and it's so maddening. And that's not the only thing. Like, there are lines, like the famous line from Aliens where Sigourney Weaver says, "Get away from her, you bitch." They say it in here, and it's so unnecessary. It's like a breaking the fourth wall, wink wink to the audience. I just couldn't take it. Ash says his line, or Rook in this movie says his line from Alien 1 where he's like, I wish you well, I give you my sympathy. I'm butchering the line, but something like that. And it's just, it's like everything wrong with studio filmmaking today is just present in this movie. I sound like I'm like I sound like I'm like a 60-year-old, you know, film director that is, that is against all studio franchise films and stuff. But like, to be honest, like, I love my franchise movies, and I will talk about in a future review how much I love Deadpool and Wolverine. But it's just frustrating whenever they do things like this, because this movie really could have been good, and like, they try and tie in Prometheus here, and I don't really think it works. They try and tie in things with other Alien movies that I really don't think work. It's just really, really disappointing, and I just wish this movie could just stand on its own and not be burdened by all of these references that, I mean, you can reference the Nostromo. You can reference the events of Alien 1, because this movie takes place after that. But you don't have to go out of your way to reference quotes of characters that have never interacted before, of future characters. Like, and now this just scares me, because what if they make another Alien movie, and then Sigourney Weaver is back, but, like, what if they also bring back, John Hurt, or, like, anyone else that has passed away in these movies? Like, I mean, at least the thing, like, if they bring Sigourney Weaver back, Sigourney is still alive, so you don't have that issue, but still, it just doesn't work. You need to move on to different actors. I am ranting too much, I am sorry, but it really bothered me, and, yeah, so, I mean, overall, technically, the movie looks nice and all, and I like the idea of this brother angle with a robot being, a brother, but I just don't think they really go anywhere with these storylines, and I really don't think they do much with the violence of it all. And like, I'll probably get flack for that, but like, I feel like all the other Alien movies, there was something way more interesting in those movies, whether it was the backburster in Covenant, whether it was the C-section in Prometheus. The only thing you really get here is this pregnancy, but it just feels so tame. It doesn't even feel like it's, like, I dare I say, sometimes I feel like I was watching a PG-13 movie. It just doesn't feel, and I don't know, it's a mess, and I'm disappointed. I hope other people enjoy it, because I do know some people that did enjoy it. But yeah, so let me know what you thought. Did you enjoy Alien Romulus? Are you very annoyed like I am? Thank you so much for watching this review, and I'll talk to you guys later. Bye.